Good day, class. Today's discussion is going to be on the philosopher John Locke. John Locke had an important role. His philosophy helped build America. Is one of the principal arguments taken on him are the theory of natural rights, and that is the right, and among those are the rights to life, liberty, and property and health. These may sound familiar as they were mentioned in the Declaration of Independence as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, most of the work I'm going to be discussing comes from his work, The Two Treatises on Government. The publication date there was originally thought to be in 1688 as a justification for what was known as the Glorious Revolution. However, now most historians believe it was written earlier during what was known as the Exclusion Crisis. I encourage you to look up those two historical issues. They're very interesting times. Lots of violence, people stabbing each other with swords to the tune of yakety sax. And the first treatise examined the scripture and refutes the work of a man named Robert Filmer, who argued for an absolute monarchy. Locke said there is no scriptural justification for divine right. And divine right is basically, God says, I'm king. That means that I'm king, and I'm unquestionable. The second treatise is more important here, or at least for our purposes of our discussion. I'll leave it up to you to determine which of these is more influential or more important. The second treatise contains Locke's theory of government, the most relevant part of which is that a government should exist to protect the rights of life, liberty, health, and the property of its citizens. Now, in my opinion, these parts of Locke's theory are very near and dear to my heart. My theory of government is that it exists for the purpose of protecting a person's natural rights, which are, again, life, liberty, and property, or life, liberty, property, and health, if you want to be literal from the treatise. Now, I believe any government action that is taken beyond that, except for maybe the possible exception of a social safety net to keep people from living on the streets, is illegitimate. The easiest thing I can come up with is the war on drugs. A person chooses to use drugs, it does not affect someone else's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or property. So there's no justification in keeping someone from doing drugs. There is justification in preventing a drug addict from killing to get drugs, or a drug cartel from killing to keep their drug supply. But those are separate crimes that are involve drugs, but are not necessarily part of drugs. Anyhow, the target audience for a lecture like this would almost certainly be high schoolers. The Locke is a complex thing. The idea of natural rights and social contract, things of that nature are not easy to understand. I had trouble understanding them when I was reading it, and I'm in college. So definitely high school students are the target audience for lectures such as this. And it's very important that we keep Locke's theories in mind, because it keeps government in line, limited, and it prevents man-bear-pig from rising up and killing us all. It's in Revelation, people!